Talk about Mexican Independence Day. We can call this Teddy Atlas here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You heard from the champion himself. Man, we're simply knocking out the competition. Not Rich Ortiz here with the fighter's voice, the only voice that matters. And like Eddie
Lopez, because Josh Taylor is
the 4th division world champion, Mikey Garcia.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And I'm like Chiquito Gonzalez. We're simply knocking out the competition. Just like he knocked out those tickets, getting ready to take the ring this Friday. But unfortunately, it was postponed. It was canceled. And you may see him on a later date, December 2nd in Riverside, California, with House of Champions 4 2.0, if you know what I mean, because it's supposed to be 5, but we never had a 4. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest, Jesus HARO. Welcome to the Fighter's Voice.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, I had to correct that, man. Sometimes we got to make corrections, but they'll never know. Listen, you were ready mentally, physically, spiritually. You did everything asked of you to do as far as the business side of boxing and also the physical side. You know, you're ready to go. Tickets were sold. Reservations were made. It went from Friday, canceled, go to Saturday, canceled, possibly Sunday, now back to Friday, and then canceled. And then they even thought about the week after, which would have been Thanksgiving, which would have been horrible for a fighter because you're not going to eat because you got to make weight and then possibly make it that Wednesday. But you guys did all that you can do. You did all you did what was supposed to do, but Mother Nature has its own course. And also the California State Athletic Commission, they have to make a decision for the safety of the fighter. I can imagine it raining. That's all fine and dandy. But my concern is, Jesus, is your whole team walking up the steps during the ring and walking down the steps all the time when we don't want no accidents
For
happening.
real. Yeah, that wouldn't be pretty for sure.
You know, I got to ask you, as a young professional, how hard is it taking on that news? You've punished your body, you transformed your body, and now you got to put all that on hold. I mean, the mental part has to be very tough, but also the physical part has to take its toll. And knowing that you'll be fighting in possibly 2 weeks, when do you turn it off and when do you transition back and get back to business?
Well, we're staying busy no matter what. We're staying ready for anything. Like once we heard the news that the show was canceled, we didn't, we were like, maybe, everything happens for a reason. So, maybe they'll have a later date. So, and they did. They were talking about December 2nd in, what was it, Riverside or Oxnard? Yes, sir. Yeah, they were talking about that. So, we're really considering it, and, especially, to finish the year off with a bang, that would be really nice to, go out there and showcase my skills and, put on a show for the fight fans.
I spoke to Robert Garcia earlier, and he said, Richard, I owe it to them to come back to Fresno. I'm not quitting. I didn't tap out. I didn't quit. I was told by the California State Athletic Commission it couldn't go on. So I plan on possibly coming back to Fresno as early as February. Now, being that said, and he also said, I'd like to come to Fresno maybe 3 times out of the year. Because his manager and promoter, Rick Merigan, is from the Fresno area. So it's just a hop, skip, and a jump for them to make it happen. Hearing that and being that said, are you ready once again to make that transition? And how do you stay positive knowing that you've worked and then one time, this time this fight was canceled? Do you let that doubt enter your mind or do you stay professional and stay positive?
No, not really. It does kind of mess with you mentally a little bit, hearing that, the fight got postponed because, you're preparing yourself for that day, that specific day. And, to hear that it's pushed to another day or it's canceled, it's like, oh man, it really gets to you because, you're really looking forward to that day and you're anticipating so much but it is what it is at the end of the day. The best we could do is stay busy, not let all that stuff, get to our heads and, just try and stay positive. God will, do his thing and guide us the right way eventually. And, as of right now, we're just going to stay busy, stay positive and just keep moving forward. Whatever comes next, we're going to, definitely beyond that.
Well, what may come next is me heading down to your gym because, bro, last Saturday, all the way from Madera, California, I can smell those burgers that your dad was barbecuing, bro.
Oh man,
God!
I must have had like 6. I must have had like 6 of them that day. I was like, man, Yeah, like I was waiting that whole week for that specific day, especially since it's for a good
Yeah.
cause, for our youth boxers to go to the National Silver Gloves, and it's definitely great showing love to them, and because I was once like them as a young fighter, and they're on their way for sure.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, no, your dad's always doing things, always opening up his gym. He's one of the most giving men that I've ever met, and told me something today, and it really stuck to me and touched my heart. He said, we talked about, possibly I was going to head up there, to go watch the fight in December 2nd. He said, Richard, you're going. Because you're family, bro. So, and I know he meant it. People can just say that to say it, but I know when someone says it and they're very sincere, just like, Robert Garcia told me earlier, he said, my gym is your gym. And hearing that, it just makes you feel good that, it feels good to be appreciated. It feels good to be thought of. And yeah. And, when you give your heart and soul to something, eventually it's going to come back.
Yes, sir, most definitely. And you are family to us because you've always shown us love ever since an amateur. And I definitely appreciate everything you've done for us. Getting our name out there and just showing love in general. And every time we see you, it's always a great time.
Absolutely, man. I liked interviewing you in the ring, and I was going, man, not too many people can get away with this, but Jesus HARO can wear his sunglasses at night and do an interview. That's what I'm talking about. That's big balling right there, my man.
They don't know. They don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. And I saw the drip you had on too, man. And I was going, man, he's doing okay. And I didn't see his dad around. I didn't see your dad around. And I'm going, okay, his dad probably needs to show up, man, because I see a couple of ring card girls getting ready to take this boy home.
And yeah, it's getting hectic now, especially after that last one. It's crazy. They keep attacking me.
They do. You had that strap around your waist. I think they want to put something else around your waist.
Yeah, I know. Shoot, I gotta watch out. Shoot.
Yeah,
Don't want to get held down.
you do, man. So listen, what is it? Are you going to take a couple of days off, or just to reboot yourself, or are you staying consistently in the gym?
Yeah, well, once I heard the news that it was canceled, I was like, my dad gave me the decision to take a few days off and think about it a little bit. And I was thinking about that, but I got right back to it. To be honest, I woke up this morning at 9 a.m., got back into the gym, got some sparring in, and got a little bit of training in just to stay sharp and for whatever comes, because you never know, we might, we'll always get that phone call. And yeah, I just got back into it, got a little run in as well. I just been resting all day, got a good little nap, before I came on, and yeah, shoot, just staying busy. I'm, probably go do the same thing again tomorrow.
Hey, man, that's good. I mean, to be active, to be athletic, and to make that transition, and also make those decisions on your own. I mean, because you know your body better than anybody else, and you know what you bring to the table, and you know what it takes to be successful. Listen, there's going to be a fight next week. And I want to know who's going to be successful. I mean, we got David Benavidez taking on Andrade. I mean, what do you think about the matchup, and who do you have winning that fight?
That is a very good matchup. I'm definitely excited for that fight. It's gonna be a tough chess match. I see it going, the distance. I don't. Oh shoot! Excuse me.
That's all good. It
Yeah, I
happens.
don't.
See, you got hit with the right hand, and then you're able to take it.
Those reflexes had to kick in.
They
Right
did. I saw that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. I'm definitely excited for that one. I got Benavidez though. I see him being the more aggressive, active fighter. I see him breaking down Andrade, taking him to deep waters, and yeah, I don't see Andrade having an answer for his pressure in the later rounds.
Yeah, I mean that's a very good assessment, and a lot of people are banking on Andrade. He's finally going to get that opportunity, and a lot of times you either make good of that opportunity or you just mentally. I know physically he'll be ready, but David Benavidez is a different monster, and I mean that really not just because Tyson gave him the Mexican monster, but he really is. He's a different type of product going inside of the boxing ring.
Yeah, he most definitely is, and his IQ, his speed, power, his defense, like man, it's impeccable. Like no lie, he's definitely like one of a kind for real. And yeah, I'm not taking nothing away from Andrade. He's a great boxer. He's world champ for a reason. But David Benavidez is on the rise to be undisputed.
There's one fight that I'm really interested in. I'm looking forward to it, and that's December 9th, San Francisco, California. Devin Haney
That one.
taking on Regis Rougarou Pro Grace. What do you think about the matchup, and how do you see this developing as the rounds go on? Do you see it a winner within 6 rounds, going the distance, or how do you see this matchup?
Yeah, definitely a great matchup for boxing. Not gonna lie, especially since Devin Haney coming off from undisputed 135, moving up to 140, and to fight for a world title against Rougarou. No joke, right there. That's gonna be an amazing fight. And in San Francisco, like Devin Haney's stomping grounds, that's gonna be it's gonna put a I don't know I don't want to say it's gonna put a lot of pressure on him, but he's definitely gonna want to prove himself in that fight. But I see that fight going the distance as well. I don't see nobody knocking each other out. But it's gonna be definitely a technical fight. That one's definitely a hard one to call.
Well, Regis made a statement earlier. He said, "I want to show the world my skill. I want to show the world that I'm not just a knockout artist." Now, the way fighters don't always tell the truth. Do you think he honestly means he wants to outbox Devin Haney, or do you think he wants to get him out of there?
Oh yeah, the plan is definitely to get him out of there. But I feel like yeah he does definitely want to showcase his skills and his arsenal a little bit more, and showcase the world that he's really meant to be a champion in that division. And yeah, I feel like he's gonna go in there with a bang. And Devin as well, he's gonna go in there with something to prove to the fight fans. Saying that he got pillow hands and all that. Like, shoot, he's gonna go in there chucking them as well.
Also on the card is going to be Stockton's own Kilo the Kid Madera.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Kilo has a chance to knock someone off of the path of being a contender, which would turn around and automatically make him a person to be reckoned with. He's never turned down a fight. He's never turned down an opportunity. He's one of those throwback fighters that doesn't say no.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing Kilo Madera once again inside of the ring.
Yes, sir. That's gonna be a great fight. And who is he going up against?
I want to say, oh my gosh, I don't have it offhand. Oh gosh.
Mhm.
You got me on that one,
Yeah,
man.
because
I got to get that one back. Let me see. Let
I
me
seen
look that
the
up
fight.
because I got the fight poster, and I know when I think of that, I think of my buddy Lukey because he's the one who told me he was on the card. So let's find out right now.
Oh,
That's why we have cell phones, right?
oh, yes, sir. Yeah, because I know I've seen like a flyer somewhere that he's fighting. I'm like, man, and, like I just totally blanked out.
No, he is on the undercard, and my next question was going to be, you always stay ready. I mean, pretty soon we're going to see Jesus HARO on those pay-per-view cards, and when that
Best
happens,
believe.
and then fighting for a world title. How far in the distant future do you see that before it starts to take fruition? And he's taking on Jones versus Madera
Okay.
on the
Okay.
undercard of
Oh,
Haney Pro Grace, December 9th, San Francisco, pay-per-view, the Zone
yeah.
TV. This guy,
Yeah, he's
Jones is
fighting
a
him on.
tough fighter. That's not going to be any easy
Yeah.
task.
Oh, most definitely. I remember him back in the amateurs, and he's always been a tough fighter, fighting against the top notch
Actually, he's in
competition.
the Devin Haney camp. He's been working out with Devin Haney. They're in camp together. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, his team reached out about bringing Jones on to the podcast, and I'm going to make sure if I do that, I'm going to bring Kilo on as well, or I may just have them both on at the same time. So we'll see leading up to
Yeah.
that. And also
Yeah.
next week, we're supposed to have Regis on there. I missed Bill Haney's phone call earlier today, but, I'll definitely return that call because I got to stay on top of things.
Yeah. Stay in tune with the
Oh,
game.
you got to, or it'll pass you up. Listen, I think I asked you the last time you were on the show, and I'm going to ask you again. When you're not in the boxing ring, what sports do you like to watch or participate? What do you enjoy on your off time?
I love football. I love football and baseball. Yeah, like I love going out to the games. I like seeing everybody chant, cheer. Yeah, it's definitely football and baseball are definitely my go-tos if it's not boxing.
Do you go to boxing matches on your own to watch, other fighters?
Oh yeah, yeah, heck yeah. I think recently um I went to a few. I went to some in LA.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like last year. It was like after I won the world title, me and my brother we had went to LA to go see some fights at the Commerce, and it was great. Yeah, it was definitely a great show. Yeah, even when Jose Ramirez fought, yeah, I went with my cousin. Like, shoot, like it's always good to watch fights and enjoy your weekend.
It's funny you bring up Jose Ramirez because I was going to bring him up right now because I was talking about body shots earlier. Um, what do you like best
Boys,
about Jose when he matches up with somebody? What would you say is his complete arsenal? What does he bring to the table?
that Mexican heart. He brings that pressure. He brings that consistent pressure.
Yeah.
Like when I seen him fight, it was the same consistent pressure throughout the whole fight until it was over. I was like, man, like this dude just doesn't stop. Like, and shoot, I see him coming, making a great comeback as well. That fight, it was a fluke. Like that wasn't the real. I feel like that wasn't the real him. Like, there's more to him, and he has more of an arsenal than that. And he definitely showed it in that Comey fight. And like, I'm definitely excited for his comeback. And yeah, I can't wait to see who he has next.
Well, I know he has some big news to drop, and I know his December his contract expires with Top Rank Boxing, which means he can possibly
Oh,
be a free agent or go with Eddie Hearn or go with the Golden Boy. Arnold Barboza made the
yep.
announcement that he just signed with Golden Boy.
Yeah, hey, a lot of big moves are happening right now. A lot of people are changing.
Well, I see some big moves and some big news coming your way. 2024 is going to be the year of Jesus HARO.
Yeah, most definitely. That's gonna be the year. Shoot, it's strap season coming soon.
Strap season. I like that. I like that. Speaking of that phrase, do you see the rematch between Bud Crawford and Spence? Do you see it taking place at 147 or at 154?
A 154. Yeah, I see it happening at a higher weight because, man, I don't know. Like Arrow, he's not gonna want to go down, and he's gonna, Crawford too. He's obviously gonna say yeah if it's for sure, and yeah because he's no one to play with for sure. But that fight, I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't happen.
Well, I will say this. There's nothing more left for Bud Crawford to prove at 147 pounds. There is nothing. Okay, what's he going to do? Defend the bouts at 147? It's to fight him at 147. And I've always said, and I went on record that I said Bud Crawford beats Spence at 147, but Spence beats Bud Crawford at 154. Being the way that
Mm,
fight took place, my mind hasn't changed because I don't like to go back on my word unless I absolutely see something different. I actually was going back
mm,
and forth during that time. It wasn't until I saw both men, and actually I just needed to see one, and I changed my decision. I went on record and I said I had Bud Crawford by 11th round TKO. It happened in the ninth. I was off, but it
yeah,
still happened.
yeah, he took quarters for sure. Yeah, yeah, and it kind of went like I don't know if it wasn't by decision, then yeah, I had it Crawford winning by knockout. That's how I had it. Cause at first I had it going a decision, but if Crawford was gonna, if anybody was gonna get knocked out, it was gonna be Crawford knocking him out.
Well, 154 besides Charlo and Tim Zoo. We need
Uh
more
huh.
excitement in the 154-pound division. I think with both these men taking the fight at 154, now with the addition of Virgil Ortiz moving up to 154, that is the division to be in. And we know Bud made it clear. I'm not going to be doing this much longer. I'm going to retire from boxing, not have boxing retire me. And being that
Yeah.
said, he's proven every single thing that he can prove. I think the icing on the cake is winning a world title at the 154-pound division.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Even unifying, like he could even do that.
I agree with you.
He's that kind of fighter. Like Crawford, that dude, he's a machine. Like he just doesn't know when to stop. He like once that kill switch activates, it's game over for you.
Yeah, I agree. I know he has that rematch clause, but I'm
Yep.
hearing a lot of the possibility of Bud Crawford taking on Tim Zoo. But a
Mm,
lot has a lot to do with, is he moving up to 154? His next fight has to be that rematch. Um, this is boxing. A lot can happen. And I
yeah.
don't think Errol Spence wants to take step aside money. He wants that fight, which could possibly be a good idea and take one fight at 154 and let your body adapt to that weight and let yourself transition to that weight. But this is boxing.
Yeah.
There's no guarantees. You got to take the payday that's in front of you. You got to take the opportunity that's in front of you. And when I say that, my heart goes out to, but I know Arnold Barboza will get his opportunity. I always think back as, man, he should have took that fight with Regis Prograis. Man, Jose Ramirez should have took that fight with Regis Prograis when the opportunity was there. I think they had some other plans. Arnold Barboza deserves an opportunity to fight for a world title. And,
he does. He's already at that experience too, and he just give him that shot, and you never know. That'll change like the whole dynamics of the division right there.
Exactly. And he even mentioned the likes of, I'm hearing the possibility of, it's been mentioned before, Jose Ramirez against Arnold Barboza are in the same weight, possibly for a vacated belt, and they're managed by the same manager.
Yeah.
So, and that fight shouldn't be hard to make if it does take place, because a Golden Boy fighter, and now you're going to have a free agent come December in Jose Ramirez. So that fight can be easily made. It can possibly be for an intern belt until one of these belts are vacated by Teofimo, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, that would be a great fight too. That would be action-packed for sure. Arnold Barboza, Ramirez, man.
That'd be a great fight for boxing. Two guys just meeting in the middle of the ring and just letting it all hang out, man. Letting it all go. Exactly. Now, listen, I know your dad at your gym, you train a lot of fighters. Have you guys ever worked with an MMA fighter before? And if so, how much of a transition did you have to make, or how much of a transition did the fighter have to make?
Oh yeah, I've worked with a few MMA fighters, and it's the stances and like the punching styles. It's a whole different ball game when it comes to like stand up. But with them, their defenses are like right here. They're like keeping their guard up here, their hands open, and when they punch, they they try and just wing them. I'm like, hey, calm down. There's more to it.
What did you say? You go, hey, calm down.
Yeah, there's more to punching. There's like balance. You gotta position your feet this type of way. You gotta turn your waist. You don't want to pick up your foot too much and overextend. That's what they were doing, and it took a while, but there was an MMA fighter, a good friend of mine, Ryan Atterbury. He's getting it. He's getting it little by little, and he's doing his thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's all fun and games, but it's all for a good cause of all these different sports. And I'm glad you're able to see the holes in his arsenal, which means you're a student of the game and you know the corrections that need to be made. And that comes from years of experience in the amateurs, and also as you continue to learn in the professions.
Yes, sir.
I never asked you this, man. How difficult was, because a lot of people don't know, Jesus, you lost your first professional fight. And me and your dad, we had a conversation, and I said, bro, before you know it, he's going to be 5-1, 6-1, 7-1. And I know he needs to get back in the ring, but he has to be mentally right, and et cetera, et cetera. And I said this. I said, the guy who beat him, we need to bring professional boxing to Merced, California, put him on the main event, reach out to his camp and say, stay ready, because you're going to be in the main event, and you're going to give Jesus HARO that rematch. How does that sound?
Yeah, that'd be a great one right there. Yeah, I've never thought of that, because all this winning that I've been doing, he's just got off my mind. And shoot, that'd be a great one, to be honest. Yeah, to get that bag, man. It's like I never lost.
There you go, and put a stamp on it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, for sure. Because there was talks, from word of mouth around here, that they were trying to get a show around here, either like 15 minutes away from Merced, or like 30, at least 30 minutes away. But it's gonna be close.
Well, I just heard word that Stockton's gonna possibly have a couple of DAZN shows with a certain fighter that's out there, and also the Vargas brothers. So that's a possibility that we could see Jesus HARO on that card as well.
Heck yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, just like give me another interim or something. Give me that world title fight or something.
There you go. Hey, I got to stay hungry, man. and that happened. And Marv Nation, they're making some big moves, man. I mean, they made their television. I don't want to say debut with DAZN Sports last week, and it went over very well. Marvin's doing a great job for his fighters, and his production team is doing a great job as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I have a friend. Shout out to him, Vincent Avina, old sparring partner of mine. He just got signed to Marv Nation, and he's preparing for an upcoming fight. I don't know when. He should have a fight day coming soon, but he's definitely one to watch.
Well, one day soon, hey, Seuss, you're going to be walking around, and I'm going to be walking around in a different capacity. I'm going to be wearing a suit, and I'm going to be help repping Team HARO. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
One day, that'd be cool, man.
Heck yeah, right there, VIP, world title fight, HARO Bros.
Hey, absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. Well, listen. I know you had some help during this time for the fights. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? Maybe some sponsors that you weren't able to fulfill obligations because of the fight turning out the way it turned out. Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Right now, the platform is yours.
Oh yeah, I first off like to thank God
Amen.
for keeping me safe about this whole camp, and keeping me sound, and just keeping my head in the right direction. Whatever happened. It's just a part of his journey. And, I'd also like to give a big thank you to my sponsors, Sanchez Granite out in Reno, Nevada. They've helped me a lot throughout this fight, and all my other sponsors as well. They know who they are. And all my supporters who purchased tickets, I'm sorry about, everything, but, it happens. I appreciate everybody who bought them, though. You guys definitely, have a place in my heart for sure, with all the love you guys have showed me throughout this journey. And my family as well. They've hustled my father for selling those tickets, getting things done. We sold out practically everything. And yeah, but, it's a sacrifice. This game is a sacrifice, and, we're just trying to make it out.
I can't let you go that easily, man, without putting you on the spot. Who would you like to share the ring with in 2024 or early 2025? I want a name from Jesus HARO.
Yes, sir. Yeah, there's a lot of my hit list right now. Yeah, there's a few. There's a fighter fighting in December. He's an Australian fighter. I sparred him like a few months back. Alex Winwood, A-Rock. Yeah, maybe have him as a potential opponent because he was a former Olympian. And, it was good work between me and him. And, we definitely put on a great show for the fight fans. And, Oscar Collazo, WBO world champion, you need to see me soon. And Eric Rosa, WBA world champion, you need to see me soon. So, you guys just hold on to those belts, stay ready because I'm coming.
Hey, only on the Fighter's Voice, you heard it from Jesus HARO, the only voice that matters. And I'm like, Jesus HARO, brother, we're simply knocking out the competition. As always, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week. Remember, it's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, the special guests, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.